The Cubs have been eliminated from the playoffs. The Dodgers are making it to the World Series. Tonight we find out who the last team is, and we'll talk about all of that after the intro.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Towing the Rubber. I'm Henry Sirkowski. I'm the special guest of this episode. We're here with
Devin Alsman.
Oh, yep.
Devin
Alsman and Johnny Clumpy.
Henry's going to join us today. Vincent is going to produce, and Luke's working on something else. So it'll be us three today on camera. Vincent, we're producing everything. So very excited today. We couldn't go last week because we were on fall break, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and the World Series starts this Friday. But we'll go right into the ALDS, Johnny. Which one do you want to start with?
We can start with the boring one of the two, the Blue
15
Jays,
innings marathon.
The Blue Jays dominating the New York Yankees. The Yankees just got obliterated through 2 games. They still won at home, and then the Blue Jays finished the job. But just wasn't a good series from the Yankees offense. Devin, you love to talk about how if you were on the team, you would have walked more than the Yankees because you wouldn't have swung at splitters in the dirt the whole time.
I didn't say that. I said I could strike out a Yankee.
That's right. So, Devin said he could strike out a Yankees batter. But he still allows hits to people who haven't played baseball since 4th grade.
That's for
I
a
thought you
later
said you were
episode.
putting that in the show.
It's for a later episode when the baseball's not happening.
Okay.
All right, I hate you. Keep talking.
I got a base hit off Devin. Like, we took legitimate ABs off each other. And
struck him out twice.
Hey, Devin. Guess what?
Let's get back on topic, Devin.
That's what she started.
Who's
just
OPS,
go.
who's
Just
OPS
go.
was
Just go.
higher in the
Just go.
ABs? Me.
I had negative whip.
We're looking at the Mariners versus the Yankees. I just didn't see enough of the Yankees. This is a great team. They have a lot of good players, and Aaron Judge, he's one of the greatest players of our generation, at least hitting wise. But they just couldn't get out of the Mariners' way, and the Mariners just steamrolled them. It was honestly surprising to me. I'm not even a Yankees fan, but I just was ashamed, honestly. What do you think, Devin?
I think the Blue Jays beat the Yankees first off, but otherwise, you talked more positive about the Yankees than I would, so I'll give you credit for that. But yeah, no, it was the Yankees just didn't show up in the series against the Blue
That's
Jays.
what I meant Blue Jays.
It was. And it was the Yankees Blue Jays. It was the AL East. The Yankees beat the Red Sox. Then they faced the Blue Jays the next game and next series, and they just couldn't do anything. Goblin and Savage, both with nasty splitters, both pitched, and both just caused major problems to the Yankees due to the splitters.
Yeah.
Yankees are one of the worst teams hitting splitters. They have 3 guys that have positive run values against splitters this year per StatCast. So that the Blue Jays knew that going in. Goblin and Savage have both great splitters and just use that to their advantage to beat the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, we had great quotes come out from that series at the end of it. But we'll talk about that at the end after we finish talking about the entire series. I really enjoyed the quotes that came out.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, you kind of put a needle on everything. Devin. It was just a domination on the Blue Jays side of things. The Yankees had a fun game 3 though. That was actually a nice game to watch, but it was still just complete domination. So, from the Blue Jays side of things.
Yeah, the Blue Jays bullpen's been the weak point all postseason for them so far, whether it was the Yankees series or now this Mariners series that's coming to Game 7 when, like, the bullpen is, like, what you need for this. And right now the Mariners have a stronger bullpen, so that's the worry for Blue Jays fans for tonight. But just overall, that's how they lost the one game to the Yankees was because of their bullpen. Louis Varland got the loss there. But the Blue Jays it wasn't that worrying. They won. They took the series 3-1. Cam Schlittler came in for the fourth game and just couldn't do the same thing he did against the Red Sox. But overall, it was a good series for a Blue Jays fan. And we got quotes about how Vladdy came on saying the Yankees lose, messing with David Ortiz, and you had Derek Jeter and A-Rod both sitting at the desk listening to that. Then you had Pedro Martinez talking about how saying Vladdy's the Yankees' daddy. So it was just great quotes all around if you hate the Yankees like I do.
Which I don't, but it's okay.
Okay. Do you hate any team in any sport?
So honestly, if we're talking baseball, back in the day when the Rangers won the World Series, I was a big fan, but they just haven't reached that potential that I know that they have. So I honestly just don't like them anymore. Like I just can't. I'm just so disappointed in that team that I just can't even watch a game anymore. I don't know if you feel the same way about any other team, but just the Rangers, man. I was with them when they were at their worst. They came up to their best, and I just couldn't deal with them being at their worst again, so I just gave up.
He's not wrong. What he said is not wrong. The Rangers have been a disappointment since the World Series. They haven't even made the playoffs since. So you're not wrong, and I think Rangers fans, obviously they're still fans of the team, but they're disappointed. So, but the other AL, you already mentioned the Mariners. They played the Tigers in a very back-and-forth series. Johnny, you want to?
Well, Game 1 was George Kirby versus Troy Melton. And
the Tigers use a bunch of openers and stuff. They get really funky with their pitching. If it's not Scooball, it's just it's just a mesh of all their pitchers.
And then Kerry Carpenter was had delivered the big hit, 2-run homer in the top of the fifth inning that gave the Mariners the lead. The game was later tied up in the sixth inning off of Julio Rodriguez RBI single, and then this game went into extras with Zach McKinstry hitting a soft single right up the middle that got past the outstretched glove of J.P. Crawford, that ended up scoring the game-winning run as the Mariners were not able to win it in the 11th. But, hey, Julio Rodriguez had 2 RBIs this game, so.
Julio's been he was good for that Tiger series, and then he was good for the start of this Blue Jays series that's happening. But it's been rough these last couple of days, right now.
So then in Game 2, it was a 3-2 finish again, but this time in favor of the Mariners. Jorge Polanco homered off Tarek Skubal twice. Then Spencer Torkelson came away with a 2-run double in the 8th inning off of Matt Brash. And then in the bottom of the 8th inning, Julio Rodriguez delivered what up to that point was the biggest hit in Mariners playoff baseball in 3 years, basically. So maybe 24 years, as it gave the Mariners the lead and kept them from going down 0-2 in the ALDS.
No, I think the Blue Jays Mariners series last time they met.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe 3 years because of the gigantic comeback. But then Game 3 in Detroit, Logan Gilbert was really good, and the Mariners' offense jumped all over the Tigers' pitching staff.
The entire Mariners staff, the first 3 to 4 games were all on short rest due to that's the next series. We're a week ahead, so I messed up. I mixed up my times. That's my bad. For the next series, that's my bad.
It is your bad.
That is my
Okay,
bad.
we all make mistakes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jack Flaherty gave up 4 runs in 3 1/3 innings. The Tigers kind of made a false comeback in the 9th inning, putting up 3 runs, and I think they left 2 men on when they got out, but this game was kind of over really early on, Cal Raleigh hit a homer. He hit his first postseason homer in this game to a guy wearing a Dump Here 61 shirt. So it's pretty cool. That was like the coolest thing to happen in the blowout. Then game 4 was the opposite. The Tigers offense pounced all over the Mariners pitching staff and won 9-3, including a Javi Baez, Riley Green. Wow, I can't talk. And Gleyber Torres all homering. Javi Baez had 4 RBIs in this game, so that was cool. Even though I wanted the Mariners to win this series, but it was cool to see Javi Baez kind of have a fun postseason game. And then Game 5 was one of the most iconic games in baseball history.
All-star this year, Javi Baez as well, by the way. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't expect that looking at the stats after the season.
So it's Game 5 of the ALDS, winner takes all, and scoring got started pretty early. Mitch Garver had an RBI sac fly to score Josh Naylor. Naylor, who hit a double and then stole third, and Garver was able to push him across the plate. But then the top of the 6th inning, Javi Baez doubled off George Kirby, and Kerry Carpenter, who homered off George Kirby in Game 1 to take a 2-1 lead. And Lifetime was 7 for 13 against George Kirby. So the Mariners pulled George Kirby for Gabe Spire, a lefty, to face Kerry Carpenter, who's a lefty. But he was so hot that the Tigers left him in, and he still hit a 2-run homer again for the second time this series, making a game 2-1, giving the Tigers the lead. But then in the bottom of the 7th, Leo Rivas, in his first postseason at bat, and first on his birthday, hit a RBI single that tied the game in the bottom of the 7th, where we would stay dead knotted for 8 innings until the Mariners loaded the bases in the bottom of the 15th, where Jorge Polanco came through, scorched a single into right that put the Mariners in the LCS.
Yeah, you can see from the graphic. I don't remember when the stats are from, but it's sometime during these are his postseason stats you're seeing from sometime point in time. I made this graphic like last week, so it's not
probably
after
Game 2 because he was really good in Game 2.
Yeah, for the Blue Jays series. But yeah, so 15-inning marathon. Jorge Polanco walks off against Tommy Canley, just gets to a ball, pulls it to right field.
He hit it really hard. It was a hit 110 miles an hour. So a change up down. And then Tarek Skubal is actually really good. He went 6 innings with 13 strikeouts. It was the most strikeouts ever in a winner-take-all postseason game. But it still ended up not being enough to win.
He had 2 playoff records shown on the graphic. Most Ks in a row in the playoffs with 7. And first pitcher to have 10-plus Ks and 0 walks in 4 innings in the postseason ever. Tarek Skubal. Even though his team lost, 0 blame on him. And this was kind of redemption. Last year, Game 5, Tigers-Guardians, he couldn't pull through for the Tigers as he let up the homer to the Guardians, and they lost at Game 5. This year, he gave it his all. Struck his last out, that fastball, 101 strikeout Cal Raleigh that you see on the graphic. It was just a great performance by Skubal. It's just 15 innings is so hard, and you can see even the winner of that series came out limping into the next one due to the marathon.
Did they?
Their starting pitching was all on short rest.
And were they good or bad?
Game 3, they were, because he was on short rest, the guy that pitched Game 3.
Do you not watch the
game? It was Game 1. It was Game 2 then. So, it was what?
Well, Miller pitched Game 1.
Yeah, Miller didn't pitch. Miller didn't pitch.
But somebody had to pitch Game 2, and they won Game 2 handily.
We're not talking about that yet.
I guess Logan Gilbert wasn't great.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Still. Then the bullpen, there was a bunch of guys who pitched in the 15-inning game, came in and.
Okay, but I'm saying the starters because they're not used to this.
Well, you said the whole team was limping, and they opened up with a 2-0. They opened the series by winning 2-0, outscoring the Blue Jays in Toronto 13-4 in 2 games. So, using the word they limped into the next series doesn't really work.
English hard. I tried, man. All right.
Okay.
All right. But ALDS had one great series, and then one great if you hate the Yankees. So overall, I think it was very fun to watch. It had one of the three series, or no, one of two that went to Game 5, right? Yeah, one of two series that went to Game 5. The NLDS also had one that went to Game 5. We'll talk about that one last, though. Dodgers played the Phillies, Phillies for NLDS. Dodgers played Phillies.
That is what happened.
I'm sorry. Again, we're talking about a week ago. They just played the Brewers.
It's not that hard to, I knew it.
You knew it? All right, talk about it.
All right, the Dodgers didn't play great baseball, but they still won. They won Game 1, 5-3 on the back of a Teoscar Hernandez homer and Kike Hernandez 2-run double. And the Phillies were not able to recover.
Yeah, Teoscar made, I don't think it was an error, but he didn't run to get the ball, and the Phillies scored on it. And then later in the game, he homered to kind of redeem that, and they won because of his home run.
Yeah. So they ended up winning 5-3, and then the game 2 was a lot of the same. It was just Blake Snell dominated, but then in the bottom of the eighth, then the Dodgers bullpen kind of blew it, allowing 3 runs in the last 2 innings, and then ended up grounding out the bases loaded, I think. Oh, there was runners at the corners for Trey Turner, but he grounded out to second, giving the Dodgers the win 4-3. It was just a bunch of RBI singles for the Dodgers. This was kind of the least entertaining game. Jesus Luzardo was pretty good, but Blake Snell was awesome, as he's been all postseason. 6 innings of 9 strikeouts, which was kind of the story. Then in Game 3 in LA, the Phillies dominated with Kyle Schwarber hitting 2 homers. And they got to Yamamoto, which was kind of shocking because he had been really good this postseason, but they roughed him up for 3 runs in 4 innings. Ended up winning 8-2.
Schwarber had a ball leave stadium. They made a plaque for him as well. So that was cool. A little thing Phillies fans could take out of that because that's pretty much it.
Well, there was another guy who left Dodger Stadium too, but in the NLCS, but we'll get to that later. Then Game 4 was a really competitive game. The Phillies took the lead in the 7th inning with a run double by Nick Castellanos, followed up in the bottom of the 7th by an RBI walk to Mookie Betts. Then this game also went to extra innings, and the Dodgers had bases loaded with 2 outs. And Andy Pages hit a 69.5 negative 15-degree launch angle ball directly back to Orion Kerkering, the Phillies reliever, who was pitching in this spot. And there was a force out at every base, but he got rushed. Well, he booted the ball first, and then that caused him to mentally rush, where he decided to throw it home, which was still a force out, but he misfired completely, threw it to the backstop, and the Dodgers walked off the Phillies to move on to the.
So here, I'll talk about this from a baseball player perspective in a second, but Henry's kind of all the teams he knows, it's the Dodgers that you know the most, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. My favorite player, Mookie Betts, he's on the Dodgers, so I like to follow them a little bit.
So just what from the Phillies series do you got? Because I know you saw the Teoscar homer, because that's when we were at homecoming, and then I decided to leave and call it because he hit that. So just what from the Dodgers in this series before I talk about the error that ended the game?
To be honest, I didn't know, but I thought that the Dodgers would win, and I was a little scared because they weren't as dominant as I thought. But they got it done. They got it done. It was a little sad to see that error at the end, but my boy Mookie Betts, he's moving on. He didn't play. He played good. He didn't play great, but that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask for. Is for someone to play as good as they can in the day, and take it home. And it's nice to see. Nice to see for me at least the Dodgers going to the World Series, because most people don't like them. I know this guy doesn't.
Nope.
But you call me a bandwagon, but I like Mookie Betts. I like Shohei Ohtani. He's a very good player, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Do you know who Betts played for before the Dodgers or no?
Red Sox?
Yeah.
The Red Sox. Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. I was just seeing.
I've been with Mookie Betts.
All right. For the error, what happened was it was a tap. Like Johnny said, it was tapper back to Kirkering, and
I think that.
Yeah,
that's why I was defending.
He bobbled it a little, fielding it.
He kicked it, but yeah.
And looking at it live, I was watching with my dad, and I was screaming, "Just go to first," and because
he was screaming
Pages,
over a game of two teams he doesn't care about.
I care about Phillies first off. Like I wanted the Phillies.
Yeah,
very
but I'm
much.
Saying like it was more just out of pure hatred for the Dodgers.
No,
screaming.
Sorry, one of my favorite players is on the Phillies.
Screaming at the TV over one of his non-favorite team. By the way,
one of my favorite team players is on the Phillies, so I would have liked to see him keep playing more games. So
just to lose in Game 5. Anyway.
Shut up. So Pages is not even halfway down the line yet when Kirkering finally does pick up the ball. So it is the easiest play to go to first because that runner from third is already pretty much a foot or two or a step away from touching home by the time he picks up the ball, while Pages running to first isn't even halfway. So the best play, obviously, is just go to first because that's the easiest out. But due to the sheer panic, and Kirkering's a younger pitcher, he went home. And Remuto, the veteran catcher, did not help the situation at all due to the fact he was just pointing to first, and you can see he never was speaking. Like, his mouth was never moving. And
well, I think it's a pretty self-explanatory, like, situation to just point at first. Like, there didn't...
Yes.
I feel bad for Kirkering, but this one is not on JT Realmuto.
I'm saying he didn't help. I didn't blame it. That's what I said. I'm not blaming Remuto. I'm just saying, as a baseball player, the whole team's supposed to work
Devin's
together.
made this kind of play before. I think that's what we're figuring
I've
out
never
from this story.
I'm just saying how a team's supposed to talk when plays are happening. Like, when you call fly balls, you're supposed to talk to figure out what's happening. Or first baseman's are kind of in charge of saying how many outs there are, where to go. The catcher, their main thing is go one, go one. They're the leader. They can see the whole field. They say everything. So Remuto kind of, in my opinion, should have been speaking because he can see the whole field. He sees the guy from third is almost home already, and Pages isn't even halfway there. Kirkering is zoned in only on home. So Remuto should be screaming, go one, but instead he's only pointing. And that results in Remuto not ready for the throw at home because he's just pointing at first.
Even if he would have been saying go to first and he still threw it home, he wouldn't have been ready for it.
I know. I'm just saying Remuto didn't help at all in that scenario.
Okay, well, yeah, because to every major league player on the planet, everyone thinks he would have went to first. So it also didn't matter if he was ready or not. He threw it 5 feet over his head to the backstop. What does Realmuto not being ready for it have to do with anything?
I'm just saying it didn't help.
Devin's made this play before and is trying to blame it on his catcher instead of himself.
The catcher's supposed to be talking. He can see the whole field. He's supposed to be vocal, and the catcher's supposed to guide what is happening. He should be yelling, go to one. He wasn't. Kirkering is panicking. He knows the game is on the line, has to make an out here. Panics, he's young, and just the pressure is too much. The veteran catcher, I think, should have done more than what he did.
Okay.
But apparently I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying that.
You're saying I've done this before.
That's a joke, Devin. You clearly haven't done that. I'm just saying you're putting a lot of the blame for this play on JT Realmuto, which is misplaced blame. That's what I'm telling you. He probably could have said something, but every major league catcher on the planet just assumes when the guy's halfway to, like you said, halfway to first, the pitcher's going to throw it to first.
I know. It's just, you can't assume, because if you're not talking, that's when catastrophe happens in baseball. If you're assuming that the center fielder is going to catch the ball, and then the right fielder comes in and just runs into him because no one's talking, that's when problems occur. So talking is a major thing you needed for baseball, and there wasn't any in that play.
Okay,
that's
I'm not agreeing with that, but I'm just saying, like, you're putting a lot of the blame on JT Realmuto.
I think he could have helped more.
Okay.
So, and then
shout out to Andy Pajes for not striking out with the bases loaded and 2 outs
yeah, hit a little
in
tap.
a very important
Hey,
game.
You put the ball.
Good on Andy Pajes for putting the ball in play with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
You put the ball in play, good things can happen. So that's for sure. But to Pajes' credit, there's people behind him that can also hit. So just want to point that out as well to Johnny. The whole Dodgers team can hit. You know, it's not just one guy, or 2 guys. But besides that, then the Brewers faced off against Cubs. I forgot. I literally was about to ask Johnny who did the Brewers play because I've already ejected this memory out of my head due to the PTSD.
All right, so quick summary. The game 1, the Brewers put up 2 runs in the first 9 innings. The Cubs tack on 3. A solo homer to lead off the game by Michael Busch. Everyone's happy, but then we're no longer happy. Then they tag on 2 homers in the later innings. Brewers win 9-3. Then game 2, 3-run homer in the first by Seiya Suzuki. Cubs fans are happy again just for Andrew Vaughn to respond in the bottom of the first. Then the Brewers...
And Shota's pitching, by the way.
Shota's pitching. Shota allows a solo homer to William Contreras. And then Daniel Plencia comes in the 5th inning, and Jackson Chourio hits a 3-run homer to meet the final score of 7-4. Brewers win game 2.
And
I stopped watching in the 5th inning because the game.
Mizorowski was elite that game. Just let up no chance for the Cubs to come back. He was throwing absolute gas, 104, and just giving the Cubs 0 chance.
Yeah. Then the series goes back to Chicago. The Cubs score runs in the first inning game. I actually kind of forgot how these games played out, so let me go find them.
Quinn Priester kind of couldn't live up to the moment. I believe Cubs scored
four runs in the first inning after they actually took the lead in the first inning, but Busch homered again. PCA hit a 2-run single, and Dansby Swanson walked, and Ian Happ scored via wild pitch. Then in the 4th inning, Jake Bauers singled, and then the 7th inning off Kittredge, Jake Bauers homered again on a ball that really looked like it wasn't going to get out, but it found a way out. And then Brad Keller came in, closed the door, an inning and a third of 2 strikeout baseball. Then the Cubs poured on in game 4 with an Ian Happ first inning homer because, of course, it was all of the first inning runs happened in this series. Matt Shaw, 1-run single.
Off the Brewers ace, by the way, is going in the game 4. They're trying to close out the series and not go to 5.
Freddie Peralta struggled. Cubs got him out after 4 innings. Then Shaw single, Tucker homered, and Michael Busch homered again. So the Cubs win 6-0. Then Saturday, William Contreras homered in the first inning because there had to be a first inning run scored in every game of the series for whatever reason. But then Jacob Mizorowski comes in after the Brewers opener, allows a solo homer to Seiya Suzuki. And
Mizorowski also was pretty dominant, but he flipped the script. Instead of throwing 104 by everyone, he just threw a bunch of off speed and just cooked the Cubs a different way.
Yeah.
So.
Then Colin Ray hung a cutter to Andrew Vaughn, and Vaughn hit it for a long homer. And
Rowan was not happy after that. He's a White Sox fan and absolutely does not want Andrew Vaughn to ever secede.
Then in the 7th inning, Andrew Kittredge came in, and Bryce Strang hit a homer to center field, and kind of felt like the dagger in this one. The Brewers' bullpen was really good, and then they got to hang an L flag on the Cubs' heads after the Cubs lost.
Also, the telephone, it was some stupid thing from in July. One of the Cubs pitchers let up a homer. Craig Counsell instantly went to the phone. So the Brewers made this telephone celebration, but it makes no sense. It was just some random regular season game. Craig Counsell went to the phone for the bullpen. That's just a normal thing managers do, is call the bullpen. So Abner Uribe thinks he's tough. We'll see how he does next series. We'll talk about that. But just Cubs Cubs made it a series though. They were down 2-0. And
They gave me hope.
They got it to Game 5.
They gave me hope.
They could have gone down 3-0 and done nothing, but they fought. You got to give some credit to the Cubs. So it was nice to see them try. Henry, you got anything for?
I should do have a few things. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the game where the Cubs won 6-0. I was told by someone sitting right next to me that the Cubs had no hope and that the Brewers were going to win. And I was like, you can't be saying that. It's your favorite team. But, someone that's in production back there, he believes in the Cubs through the entire series. And I just want to say good job to Vincent. I say that he may be responsible for that 6-0 win.
I'm just saying, if you have hope, then it hurts more.
You always got to have hope for your teams, Devin.
Well, it hurts more when you lose.
I mean, most of us are Bears fans, and we all just bank on
I haven't suffered the Bears, though. I've started watching last year. I haven't really suffered.
No, you
from
suffered.
the Bears.
You suffered.
I didn't. I
just
enjoyed
every
it's
every
funny.
season's
You just weren't
suffering.
into the sport enough to realize how bad that Hail Mary was, and then later,
then I just
and
messed
then later
with
the
you.
blocked field goal to the Packers. And then,
This year they're fun to watch. This year
they were fun
pretty
last
good.
year. They started 4-2 last year,
I'm just
and
saying.
they beat the Jaguars in London. They beat the Rams, who were a playoff team. They killed the Panthers because Caleb Williams threw 4 touchdowns. They
Yeah,
won
but
week
now,
1.
Now they're actually.
And then they played the Commanders, and a Hail Mary happened that derailed the entire season, Devin.
Hey,
Anything
this
can
is-
happen. No.
this is a baseball
No.
show.
You started talking about how, don't get me started on the Bears last year, okay? Anything can happen. The Bears they play the Ravens next week. Odds are Lamar Jackson goes for 500 yards, and I feel like the season's over again.
Dude, if Derrick Henry runs the ball, he'll just fumble it, so it's fine. He's got butterfingers.
All right, so we got to get to the NLCS. Or?
One more thing I was just going to say. As someone who's from the Chicagoland area, it's nice to see a team that actually makes it into the playoffs and actually wins a series against a team, because it's really nice to actually.
Hasn't happened in
Yeah, I mean, the Bears haven't made it in a long time. Bulls, I don't even know what's going on with them. I don't know about hockey too much, but I don't really care about hockey that
Blackhawks
much.
haven't done a ton. This is the first.
Blackhawks got a good player. I know that.
This is the first Chicago playoff series win since 2017, I think.
Yeah, it's just nice
If
to
I'm
be able
right.
to
Which was the Cubs.
Which was
see a
the
team
Cubs.
and root for it. Everyone here was rooting for the Cubs, and it's just nice to it's kind of a group bonding moment. Everyone's cheering for the Cubs, coming back, talking about the game, and I just like that. As someone who's from the Chicagoland area, it's very rare for that to happen. So I'm glad that
Until the Bears make the playoffs.
Last
Yeah,
Blackhawks win was 2015, so yeah.
That's it for me.
It was the Cubs 2017, so.
was the last playoff series win, and then the Cubs in 2016, and then the Bulls in 2015. The Bears haven't won a playoff game.
So the Cubs have
since
the last
2012.
3 Chicago
No,
league.
2000. The Bears haven't won a playoff game since 2010.
So, hey, Cubs have the last 3 postseason league or wins.
4.
Last 4? Last 4.
5.
5.
They won
It's just a bunch in 16.
wild card, division series in 16,
Championship series.
championship series,
Series.
World Series, and division series in 2016. And they were the last playoffs of 2015, so they actually also won the wild card and division series that year. So they have the last
So it's
6.
just the Cubs.
They have the last 6 playoff series / game wins in Chicago sports, and that spans across a decade. So that's cool. But NLCS time or ALCS time? NLCS.
It is. And
Let's do the NLCS. This should not take long because it was a boring series of baseball.
Blake Snell, elite, but somehow wasn't even the best pitching performance of that series. But Blake Snell,
It was.
I mean,
It was better than Yamamoto.
it's arguable. They're
It was
both.
better than
It was
Yamamoto.
both.
It was
And
better than Yamamoto. All right, so game 1, Blake Snell, 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, 24 up, 24 down due to a pickoff or caught stealing.
it was pickoff.
It was a pickoff, so yeah, he got all 24 outs.
No walks from Blake Snell, by the way. Yeah. That's a rare occurrence.
Then in the bottom of the 9th, the Brewers forced, let's say, push the issue. They get a run off Roki Sasaki, who looked good all playoffs, and then he struggles here. And then Blake Trinan comes in with 2 men on. He almost hits Bryce Turang and then threw a fastball at Bryce Turang's eyes. Turang got out of the way of the slider that would have hit him, which I get is really hard to do.
It would have tied the game if. Again, dude, for the first instinct that comes to your mind, if a ball's coming at you,
people
is to move.
People shouldn't be blaming him for the loss. Like it's
I
hard
don't.
to. I know you're not. I'm not saying you are. There were people on the internet who were like, "You got to wear that," but it's really hard to take an 85-mile-per-hour sweeper to the kneecap that probably ends your baseball career.
But Turang probably does think about it afterwards, saying he probably should have stayed in. But like in that split-second moment, it's pretty much impossible to try to stay in when a ball's coming at you.
And then he swung at a fastball at his eyes, leading to the Dodgers winning Game 1. Then Game 2, all these games in Milwaukee, the Jackson trio leads off the game with a homer off Yoshino Yamamoto, but then he's awesome the rest of the way. 3 hits, 2 hits the rest of the game, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. He went full 9 innings. And the Dodgers offense gave him 5 runs.
He doesn't let
He
doesn't let the Dodgers bullpen try to blow it like Snell start. He just goes complete game. First complete game since Jose Lima for the Dodgers in 2004. So, very good stuff from Yamamoto.
Then we're in LA for Game 3. The Dodgers get 5 2/3 and 8 strikeouts of 1 earned run ball from Tyler Glass now. And then Shohei Ohtani tripled in the first inning, and then Mookie Betts doubled him in. And then Tommy Edman hit a single off Jacob Mizorowski. And then Freddie Freeman scored off a throwing error by Abner Uribe. And that was a 3-1 Dodgers win. And then Game 4 happened. So Shohei Ohtani took the mound and hit in this one. On the mound, he went 6 innings of 2-hit baseball with 10 strikeouts and 3 walks. So a very good pitching performance from Shohei Ohtani. And then on top of that great pitching performance, he hit 3 no-doubt homers, 1 going out of Dodger Stadium. So arguably the greatest performance in baseball history. He ended up winning NLCS MVP after this performance. Dodgers won 5-1 with help from one of the greatest single-game performances in Major League Baseball history. Arguably the best ever because it happened in the playoffs. So Devin's not very happy.
Well, two things. One, I want to say that that's not the best game ever because...
I said postseason history.
Oh, I'm just saying because when he had the 50-50, that was also a really good game. Also by Ohtani.
Nick Kurtz this year.
And Nick Kurtz with 4 homers. But Ohtani also had a really good one. There was also a guy, I don't even know. I don't even remember his name, but he threw a no-hitter and had 2 home runs. But
in the 1970s.
Ohtani's probably had 2.
But it was a regular season game,
yeah.
so.
Ohtani's probably had 2 of the 10 best games
2 of the
ever. 5, whatever. I'll let someone that actually
and
likes...
one was the best. One of them was in the playoffs, so it's probably the best game ever.
I'm just going to talk negative.
And an elimination game, too.
Shut up.
So.
I want to let someone else that actually will talk about the Dodgers in positive way talk, so Henry, go ahead.
Honestly, that was probably the best baseball game I've ever watched. You know,
How many baseball games have you watched?
I watched quite a few games. But, you know, you just got to think about where does that put him in the status of greatest player of all time. Like he's still chugging. He's in the World Series. He just goes and has one of the best games of all time, if not the best game of all time. 3 home runs, right? And he also pitched. Like that's like if you're playing football, that's like you're the quarterback and you get like 2 interceptions or something. Like it's just that's so dominant. And even just from an objective standpoint, you have to appreciate how great of a game that was.
Devin
even if you
can't.
hate
I literally
him.
said it was. I literally said it was. I was joking, and the other guy said that had a better one was him as well. So
Just making sure that's clear.
He might be the greatest player to ever play the game, but that's an argument for the offseason when we don't have games to talk about. So, but he's probably one of the, if not the greatest player of all time. So,
I think Ken Griffey I think Ken Griffey Jr.'s
talent-wise, did
Griffey was hurt.
Did Griffey ever steal 50 in a season?
Griffey had
Did
injury.
Griffey pitch? Did Griffey pitch?
Griffey had
Did
injury.
Griffey pitch to a sub-3 ERA?
Griffey had injury problems. He was insane.
Sub-3 ERA?
Barry Bonds is also insane.
Did he pitch?
Ohtani's not the best yet. Ohtani's not
Well,
the
best
best
in what
yet.
aspect?
Just
That's
overall.
the question.
Bonds
cheated, so...
You literally say steroids don't matter.
It doesn't.
You have said
It
it.
doesn't. I'm
So,
just joking. I'm just doing
so
it to
Bonds, I still think is better. I still think there's at least 5.
This is an off-season argument because we have
Clemens, I would still say is better. What do you? Doesn't he have what 7 Cy Youngs? Doesn't Roger Clemens?
Devin, Shohei pitches and hits, and does one of them at a top 20 level in Major League Baseball, and does the other at a top 2 level in Major League Baseball.
Okay, but when a pitcher has 7 Cy Youngs, I would still say right now.
He's gonna have 4 MVPs in a month.
I'm just saying right now, Roger Clemens having 7 Cy Youngs is really impressive, especially
saying
during
it's
that
not
time
impressive.
of baseball. Ohtani will be better than Clemens. He's probably the next guy that he'll pass, but having 7 Cy Youngs is pretty
4th.
impressive.
He's gonna win 4 MVPs. There's like 2 guys who've done that ever.
Clemens also won an MVP as a pitcher.
Okay. Did he win 4?
No, because he's just a pitcher. But he's won 1, which is very impressive for just a pitcher to win. Plus 6 Cy Youngs to go with it. Because he won 1 probably with the MVP. So 6 outside of the MVP year. So I would say that's pretty good. Wouldn't you?
I'm not saying it's not good, Devin. I'm just
Ohtani's
saying
good. And
Really?
but he has to keep going. If he
It's-
somehow
we're
just-
at the point
if his
where-
career just ends now, I don't think he's.
I'd be pretty comfortable. Okay, this is not a conversation for today. We can have this at a different day when there's not playoff baseball still happening. There's Game 7 tonight, everybody.
There is.
Devin's mad because I talked highly. I praised Shohei Ohtani, so it ruins his mood for the rest of the day.
You lost your mind when I said Clemens is up there.
I just don't think. I think there's like one guy you can arguably put over Ohtani at this point.
Okay.
You yourself last week said pitchers don't deserve $30 million a year, so why should they be
Don't.
considered in the top 5
Because
players
of
ever?
injury risk. Because of injury risk, it's
Say the same thing about
hard.
hitters.
Huh?
You say the same thing about hitters. Hitters can get hurt.
There's not a hitter injury that makes them out a year and then puts them completely down a tier most of the time. There's not a
There's
hitter
a
injury.
pretty major injury that could happen to hitters that could do that.
That not at the occurrence we see Tommy John.
No, but
That's why hitters are just worrying.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in the off season.
just saying.
I'm going to get aggravated. Do we want to recap or we just talk about tonight's game? Because tonight's game, it's 3-3. The Mariners were up 2-0. Blue Jays came back. It was 3-2. Mariners could have won it last night. Unable to come through. Vladdy kind of just ends the chances of the comeback by hitting another home run, and it's a great series. Game 7 happens tonight. It will be George Kirby versus Shane Bieber. Blue Jays won the last time these two guys pitched in Game 3, I believe. So you can see their postseason stats. Kirby's kind of struggled, but he's a command artist. He will put stuff in the zone and will put up a fight. Shane Bieber has won a Cy Young before and will also put up a fight. So great matchup. Watch that tonight.
I will watch it.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay. Because is there good football games tonight?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's 2 decent games, so.
You should still watch this.
Oh, don't worry, I will.
Okay. All right. But who do you have winning? Who do you think can win? What do
Who
you?
do I think can win?
I think both teams can probably
I
take
think
it.
both teams have a
Just
good chance of
what do you
winning the
think?
game,
What
actually.
do you think?
I mean, personally for me, I think that the Mariners are going to take it. I personally don't like the Blue Jays. I know you like Vladdy. and I think he's on the Blue Jays. I know he's on the Blue Jays, but
I think I just.
are you about to show that you have that shirt on? Because that's just gonna make me pick the Mariners even harder because that. Come on,
supposed to be like an aura moment
Of course, got the shirt.
or something.
you're like Superman. It's like, oh my gosh.
oh my god, he's wearing that shirt he always wears.
Yeah,
It's insane.
I can't believe you're wearing that shirt.
That he's worn 40 times on the 50 episodes of the show.
It's just not true.
Well, I just don't think the Blue Jays can. I don't think they can take it. I think the Mariners they're gonna win.
Yeah,
They're gonna
that
take it to
shirt
the World
doesn't have the
Series.
Strauss logo on the helmet, so
Fake
it's
shirt.
clearly not him in the postseason because he wasn't good before this year. But yeah, I'd also go with the Mariners. I think one of Julio Rodriguez or Cal Raleigh will deliver the big hit tonight that makes their moment as Mariners legends if they're not already.
I don't think Julio's. Well, you're saying postseason or just
No,
Mariners?
just like
legend?
Mariners legend.
I don't think
'cause-
Julio's a Mariners legend yet.
Not yet, but
Rowley-
that's why I said if he delivers the big hit tonight to send him to
Yeah,
their
he had
first
the
World
error.
Series in Major League history, that would probably put him in Mariners legend because they've never done anything in the postseason.
He had an error yesterday that kind of led to the snowball effect. So, hopefully his defense also shows up.
Okay, so what has Vladdy done in the postseason before this year?
Before this
He
year,
completely no-showed? complete no-show?
6 games, 3 hits in
Because you were calling him one of the best postseason hitters ever
22
before the
at-bats.
show today.
In 22 at-bats, 3 hits.
It's not that good of a batting average.
No, it's not.
Because you were calling him, like, before the show today, one of the best hitters in postseason history. So,
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll see during this game
2
7.
walks. But this postseason, he's been one of the best in a single postseason. He's hitting .462, .532 on base, 1,000 slugging, an OPS of 1.532.
you just said ever, so I was making sure you knew that he's not one of the best postseason hitters ever. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, if Brody was here, he would probably say who is one of the best. Or multiple of them, because they'll be on the
Well, I
Astros.
just wanted to, because you were, trying to shoot down Julio Rodriguez, even though he started his career with 4 2020 seasons. He's
good.
He's well on pace to a Hall of Fame trajectory at this point.
Yeah.
And could deliver.
I just wish
And
he could hit in
And
the
I was
first 2
predicting
months.
that he would hit him or Cal Raleigh will hit the biggest or the biggest hit in Mariners history today.
Why
So-
not George Kirby have a great start to have one of the best starts in Mariners
I'm not
history?
saying he's not, but do you remember George Kirby's 5 innings of 1-run ball against the
I'm not saying he does
Tigers?
that. What if
or do you remember Jorge
Jorge
Polanco
Polanco's-
hitting a single?
Yeah. But what if Kirby goes out there 8 innings, 1-run ball? That
Okay,
I think
do
I'll
you think the
remember
Mariners
that.
offense is going to put up 10 runs?
No.
I think this is going to be a close game.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
And I think Julio Rodriguez, my prediction, I had nothing to do with Kirby playing poorly. All I
Nothing.
said
I'm just saying,
was
I
that
think-
Julio Rodriguez or Cal Raleigh will deliver the biggest hit in Mariners history and cement one of them as a Mariners legend. That is what I said.
I think George Kirby hopefully has one of the best starts since.
Hopefully you want them to win.
I
You
had the
were not-
Mariners winning. I had the Mariners winning when we made our predictions. If the Mariners do win, I'm right about my World Series. Dodgers Mariners, by the way. So I just want the AL to win, though. That's just I just want whoever wins tonight to beat the Dodgers. I don't care who. I don't really have a favorite. I picked the Mariners. I'm wearing a Vladimir Guerrero jersey. I like the Mariners. I hope this will be the first ever World Series appearance if they win tonight.
As I said that earlier when I was talking about how this would be the biggest hit in Mariners history if Julio or Cal Raleigh would deliver said hit.
So I'm saying, either way, both these Blue Jays haven't been in the World Series in like 30 years. Granted, they've been to one, but I'm just saying neither team has been seen the World Series in a long time. So either way, I just want whoever wins tonight to beat the Dodgers. I like Vladdy. I like a lot of the guys on the Mariners. I think they have great pitching. So overall, I don't really care who wins. I just want the AL to triumph.
Sure. He wants Vladdy to win. So
Either way, whoever wins, I believe, gets home field first. Because the Dodgers were 3 seed. So.
which is dumb because they won more games than the Mariners. So like
I'm not complaining.
I'm not, but like realistically, if you win more games in the regular season, but you're in the harder conference, you should be.
So
you should get priority.
to end the episode, we'll quickly go over some Cubs things. Cubs offseason plans. Jed Hoyer came out and said pitching depth was the main focus, or one of the things he wants to look at. With the, as you can see, the laughing emoji on the graphic, that's to me a joke, and hopefully it's a joke. Hopefully Jed was just trying to make, just cause a laugh due to the sad loss of this season. So I'm hoping it was a joke. I don't think it was, but if on a go ahead, other graphic shows the NLDS roster that they had against Brewers. It says 4 starters, 8 relievers, but really it was 7 starters. And that would be 5 relievers. So they had plenty of depth. And then you throw on Steele and Horton, who were just hurt. They had plenty of starting pitching.
Horton, it would have been. We would have won. We would have.
Yeah. So
the NLCS could still be going on.
It's not pitching depth that's the problem. It's quality, not quantity. As if you look at the Dodgers, they have quality, not really quantity. Like if you look, their bullpen's kind of been shaky due to the fact that it's the starting pitchers and then Roki. That's pretty much it. But they're getting through. He's been shaky.
He got a save in the NLCS.
Okay, I'm just saying he's been shaky. It's the fact of how the Dodgers have quality guys that can go out there and win them games themselves. They don't.
Yeah,
have
especially that Shohei Ohtani guy.
They don't have this quantity. So the Cubs should go for quality, but they're not because it's either Jed, Ricketts, someone is just not understanding where baseball's going right now, and someone needs they need a change. I'm very upset Jed got the extension, if I want to be honest with you. And we still don't even know how long it is. So, and then draft pick compensation. There was reports that Kyle Tucker, the Dodgers are looking at him. So that would be awesome. If he goes to the Dodgers. Cubs would get, if one of their qualifying offer players was taken, they would get a pick between the competitive balance round B and the 3rd round. Henry, you got anything on the Cubs?
If we're talking Cubs, there's one play that they can make in this offseason that would really elevate their team.
Kyle Schwarber.
And it's taking Billy Hamilton from the minor league, bringing him up, and playing center field for the Cubs major league team. And, if they do this, my sources...
Over PCA?
Yes. I mean, PCA, he's good, but he wasn't what I wanted to see. And, Billy Hamilton can fill that role. And my sources have told me that
His sources have been
sources.
yeah.
All right, Luke.
Just saying, bring Billy Hamilton up. If the Cubs are watching this, it's my idea, definitely. So
you had a great show. You had great, however long the show was. You had a great stretch, and you just had to ruin it, didn't you?
I didn't ruin it.
You
I elevated it.
No,
just like how Billy Hamilton's going to elevate the Cubs this next season.
You ruined it.
But that's just my opinion.
I can't believe I want Brody back. That's something I didn't think.
I can't tell if I should feel offended or not.
You should feel offended. He does not like Brody. And Brody's the 3rd host on the show, so way to tell all the viewers that.
What?
That you hate Brody. And
I
you
don't
also
hate Brody.
You also don't like Henry anymore either. So.
It's okay.
I'm just disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Well, that'll be
No, but thank you for filling in, Henry. Sorry, I know this isn't your main sport. It's just fun to have you kind of talk. I hope you enjoyed.
Like, Devin's pissed at you that you would ever be worse than Brody.
I hope you enjoyed.
Oh, I sure did enjoy
getting to have some laughs.
Oh yeah,
on today's show.
Laughing at you. I mean, huh?
But
the
the Mariners Yankees series was pretty good though.
Okay,
I would say.
but that'll do it on this one. Go watch Game 7 tonight, and then after Game 7 finishes, go watch that 9:00 football game because for whatever reason it's super late.
Was it the
Texans and
Texans?
Seahawks. And then watch the Blitz on Friday to catch up on those football games.
I won't be here. So
Okay.
Nor will I.
Until next time, this was Towing the Rubber. I'm Jenny Klumpy, joined by special guest Henry Strowski and co-host Devin Osman.